I know I've said this more than once in the recent past, but there is a contest coming up in June, and it's actually close by in Kansas City. And so I'm seriously considering trying to put together a package for that show. And my only issue these days is which category to compete. I turned 54 last month, so I'm almost in my mid-50s. I am in my mid-50s. There's more than one option to compete, but the whole classic physique idea the NPC came up with, they've stretched themselves too thin, I think. Where if I were to compete in the open, I could, essentially I'd be competing against guys who are 20 years younger than I am. And, whether I like to think that I still have the capacity to be successful in the open, I do not. So that only leaves classic physique, which, like I said, they bring out this category, and then if you look at most of the regional shows, the whole classic physique thing, really it has, a novice class, and then an open, which, same thing, a bunch of younger guys. And then their masters, rather than breaking it down by age or anything else, it's just 35 and up. And, I hate to say it, but anybody between 35 and 45, I mean, if I were between 35 and 45, I could legitimately compete in a class that would be comprised mostly of guys that age. But, once you hit 50 and above, things like the texture of your skin, just the overall structure, your muscular structure, your capacity to recover and heal, your capacity to grow, your capacity to especially when you're working full time, to commit to the kind of rigorous dieting and supplementation that it requires to be successful. That only leaves, I'm not going to do classic physique against 35 to 45-year-old guys. It's ridiculous. So that only leaves the Masters Bodybuilding category, which they do indeed break down by decade. So in other words, 40 to 50, 50 to 60, 60 to 60 to 70, whatever. Of course, I look at the show that I'm thinking about competing in, and this is the problem that I run into. Wow. In the 50 and over class last year in this particular show, there's only two guys. Two guys showed up, And it's really difficult to justify spending the 125 on the NPC card, the 60 bucks, whatever, roughly, 60 and 80 bucks to register for the show. Then I have to buy my wife's tickets. So her tickets are going to run another 60 bucks for her to show up at the prejudging and show up at the night show, be able to get in. And then I have to be tan. So I gotta, if I don't do it myself, and I've tried, but it never turns out as well as I really wanted to. I have to pay somebody, usually $120, just to spray me, so that I can, look presentable. If you throw a hotel room and travel and all that other stuff in there, I mean, you're talking about, pushing 600 to 800 bucks just to go into this contest. Stand around for hours, in the back with a bunch of other people, waiting for the right time to try and pump up, trying not to stress, because stress tends to flatten you out. Your vascularity just disappears, and it's tough. To go into the show and spend all that time and money and then only have one other guy show up and compete against one other guy, I mean, okay, I'm guaranteed second place, but to me, I don't feel like I've really accomplished a damn thing. So anyway, that's the plan, okay, and I have more or less started the process of prepping. I have 7 weeks, 8 weeks from this point, I'm only probably 8 to 10 pounds heavier than I probably should be. So not an unreasonable amount of weight to try and lose. You know, and I'm back to doing what I was for an occupation previously, which is kind of physically demanding, so that helps because, you know, instead of sitting around at a desk or something, I'm physically active, so you know, it just facilitates the fat loss process. So anyway, that being said, the threat having been made that I'm going to try one more time after having not been on stage since 2015, which really isn't that long ago, but it seems like an eternity. I'm going to give it a shot. So in the interest of that, what I thought I'd do today is, you know, just hit some poses and kind of get, you know, document, I guess, where I'm at now, you know, in terms of my physique, and then, you know, maybe follow it a little bit. But I thought maybe I'd just hit some poses and then, you know, on down the road, another 4 weeks, 5 weeks, to do it again, and we'll, you know, do some kind of comparison and see what's going on. Anyway, here goes. Okay, I think that's about all I can handle. Anyway, we'll see what happens. Still 7 or 8 weeks away, so if I can get rid of this spare tire right here, I'll be in good shape.